We planted out our winter squash at the end of May and they've put on a lot of growth since then. They're starting to flower, so now we're going to have a look at the difference between the male and the female flower, and also how to hand pollinate them and therefore save some seeds from them as well. We're also back in quite high temperatures, so the plants are likely to wilt, but we're going to have a look at them and talk about watering needs as well, and when to worry and when not to, basically. This is what the plants are looking like now, and as you can see, they've pretty much filled the area and they will continue to do so and come beyond the area as well. You can also see that the leaves are really wilting, so it's around 30 Celsius right now. The plants were watered really well last night, so I'm not worried about it wilting at this point. But if once it gets cooler later on, they continue to wilt, then I would want to up my watering. At the moment, we're watering them good and deep every 2 to 3 days. But if they didn't recover, then I would up that every day until they started to, or until we started seeing lower temperatures and a little bit of rain. Another thing that we can do to help this plant cope with the temperatures at the moment is actually bury the stem where the leaf axis is. So that's going to enable the plant to put down more roots into the ground and therefore give it more ability to find water. So just get some compost or some of the soil around it and just push it around that stem. And then we've obviously got plenty of mulch here as well that will hold that water in, and that will really give it a good chance to take up as much moisture as possible. Down here I've got the first squash starting to form. One option at this point is to pop a tile or something underneath it just to stop it sitting on the wet bed. These are smaller varieties which don't usually take too much fuss, but a larger variety that will help and stop it rotting. And then down here we have a female flower. So we can tell it's a female because it has the fruit at the bottom with the flower above. And then we'll have a look for a male flower. Down here we have a male flower, so as you can see, you've got the flower at the top and then just a stem, no female below it. I'm just going to pick that one off. And then if we remove the leaves around the edge, we will find the male stamen inside. So this is the male stamen that will have the pollen that we now want to transfer onto the female. If we are looking at seed saving rather than just pollination, then we're going to want to isolate each of these flowers. And then we're just going to take the female and open it up, and then just take the male like a bit of a paintbrush. We're just going to put it around the female part of the flower. There's another male flower there that hasn't opened. To get them when they've just opened, really we want to do that early in the morning if possible, to see whether or not they have pollinated. If they haven't, it is just going to shrivel and drop off. If it has, then it will start to swell. You will also find that there will be some of the fruits that are just naturally terminated by the plant because it has decided it can't support that many. So don't worry if some do fall off. It's also completely normal for some of the plants to only have all male or all female flowers to begin with. Just give it time, and then hopefully, just like this one has, you will find that it puts out a female or a male further along the stem. What we're also going to find is around the edge of the patch is that these stems are going to continue to try and get out. So one of the things that I will do is just tuck them back in and into the area that I want them to grow. But if you find that you just have too many and you can't manage it, then just chop them off further down and they'll be absolutely fine. As long as they've still got plenty of fruit higher up the plant, then they'll be okay. To save seeds from these, we are going to need to make sure that they are isolated from other winter or summer squashes. Commercially, this is around 2,000 metres, but usually that would be a bit less because we've got barriers in the way and things like that. If, like myself, you're growing at home, then the chances are that you may be absolutely fine and not need to worry about that at all. I know my neighbours aren't growing squash, and there's no fields around here that are growing it either. So I should be absolutely fine to just hand pollinate if they need it, and then just allow those seeds to grow. To do this, we're just going to pop a piece of string or a cable tie around one male and one female flower, and then after a day or two you can take them off. Then do exactly as we did before, open up the male flower and pop that in on all around the female part of the flower with the fruit on, and then pop that tie back around them to make sure that no other bees or bugs can get in and offer any additional pollen to that plant. Once you've done this, do make sure that you do pop a piece of string or something onto the fruit that you've done so you know which one, as the plant grows, which is the one that you're going to be saving those seeds from. And then for winter squash, we're just going to continue allowing the plant to grow on and letting it get to full maturity on the plant before we then look at removing it and harvesting the seeds after it's cured. As we get into late summer and autumn, we are going to see that the leaves start dying back. That's completely normal and nothing to worry about. If we manage to water plenty, then hopefully we'll also reduce powdery mildew as well. So the next time that we're going to look at these plants now is actually when the first of the fruits are starting to be ready, and we'll look at how to know when to harvest them and how to cure them for storing into winter as well.